He learned a long time ago, it wasn't about, for him, it ain't about legacy, it's about currency. And he did exactly what he wanted to do. Right. So you can't be mad at him for that, but I'm not gonna tell you that, oh, I'm gonna say, oh yeah, he the greatest fighter. No, I can't say that.
It gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen. As I've always said, it's hard to make money, but it's even harder to keep it.
You know, Mayweather was, it's been reported, I should say, allegedly, that, he's been, a little upside down on some of his taxes and some of his properties. And he needed to come back and fight and take care of that. Well, he got some cheese from that advancement. I'm pretty sure he took care of that. And now he's chilling. Now he's saying to himself, I'm damn 50 years old. I ain't trying to fight. No, I ain't trying to fight. Let's do an exhibition.
The boxing industry is erupting with discussion after reports surfaced that Netflix imposed a $100 million penalty on Floyd Mayweather Jr. for allegedly violating his agreement when he referred to the planned rematch with Manny Pacquiao as an exhibition bout.
Floyd losing money Mayweather, as the chatter says, is in dire straits financially. But something is off. Something's completely off because you got one person saying, this is a real fight. You got the promotion saying, this is a real fight. You got Floyd Mayweather saying, no, this is an exhibition. There's two things that are happening here. Either somebody messed up in paperwork or in communication or in some form of getting this fight together, misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to scam Netflix. That is the only two things that can be possible.
Timothy Bradley has indicated that Floyd Mayweather Jr. might have already spent the upfront payment he received from Netflix to clear lingering financial obligations. And with those funds now secured, Bradley believes Mayweather may no longer feel motivated to pursue a genuine competitive fight.
Know the legalities of the actual contract and why Mayweather's choosing to do what he's going to do what he's doing. I don't think Mayweather is afraid. I don't think he's afraid. No, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. Come on. Barrios, he's not afraid of Pacquiao. Trust me, he's not. But the thing I want to make you guys aware of is that when you get these advancements, you can put a non-refundable tag on these advancements. You can do that. Now, I don't know if Mayweather did that, but you can. You can put a non-refundable attachment on this and be like, all right, hey, I need an advancement for training. I need $3-4 million, whatever, for training expenses. And if they agree to say yeah, and he put in a contract that is non-refundable, it's free money. It's basically free money.
Oscar De La Hoya has also asserted that Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s return to the ring is driven purely by financial strain, claiming that many fighters at that level often mishandle their earnings and eventually face bankruptcy. He further argued that Mayweather's current focus appears to be on generating income through exhibition bouts rather than protecting and strengthening his long-established boxing legacy.
The reason why he's crawled out of his rock, he needs money.
You think he needs money?
Absolutely.
He's always flossy.
It's absolutely, he needs money.
You think he's going
Once
broke?
Again, come on. Fighters like that always go broke.
He's always spending, so I guess.
Absolutely. Look, he's not fighting anymore, so that big money's not coming in. Look at what happened to Mike Tyson. He made what, $500 million?
Right.
You think you can spend $500 million overnight? Absolutely.
You can't.
I doubt he'll ever step into that ring. Floyd's a big freaking.
He called Canelo the easiest win of his career.
Yeah, because he was 21 years old.
Right.
Of course. If I fought Ryan Garcia, who's 19 years old, what am I going to do? I'm going to beat him easy because of my experience.
Zab Judah, a former professional boxer and one of the well-known rivals of Floyd Mayweather Jr., has implied that Mayweather's return is more about promotional tactics and generating major hype for a high-profile event rather than purely competitive intent.
You know what I'm saying? We're not playing around. And, maybe that got through the cracks. I don't know how. I wasn't there. I don't know his business. But somehow, he's saying it did. I mean, well, he didn't say that. I'm just saying I don't know how he didn't catch on that this is the real deal Holyfield.
Do you think it could be possibly a publicity stunt to give some type of push to the promotion? I mean, I don't know. Like when the announcement came out, I don't know if people really too ecstatic for it.
Yeah, it's something that you would, you can use to your advantage to try to push the fight. It'll let people, it'll get ears and eyes on the fight for people that didn't know the fight was happening. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
Because as a consumer looking in, you're like,
listen, man, I'm a fan of both guys, and I just want to watch it and see the fight happen. I mean, I'm a fan of boxing. I shouldn't say I'm a fan of both guys. You know what I'm saying?
Zab Judah claims that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has shifted his attention toward entertainment value, business ventures, and increasing earnings through big-name exhibition fights rather than traditional competitive boxing.
As a consumer looking in, we're like, yo, is he like, what's the complaint? What's the problem here? Like, what are you scared of? Because is it your O? Is it your losing that O? Could be that it?
Of course. That's what it's all come down to. I mean, the O is like a 800 credit score. Globally, universally. You walk around with an 800 credit score with the O. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the O brings. It brings an 800 credit score for wherever you go. You know what I'm saying? And Floyd he's done a great job with that. Great job. So of course he's gonna, show the roll on that O. I ain't mad at him. Smart guy. He understands. He ain't no fool. Word.
According to reports from boxing insiders, both sides had already agreed and signed contracts for a sanctioned official bout. However, Floyd Mayweather Jr. later described the fight as an exhibition instead, which triggered strong criticism from Manny Pacquiao's camp and also raised potential legal disputes over the change in terms.
Max, so Mayweather threw some cold water on any excitement for the fight with Manny Pacquiao in September when last week he did an interview and said that it's not going to be a real fight, it's going to be an exhibition and not necessarily going to be at the Sphere. And Max, that really puzzled me because this wasn't just reporting. Netflix, a multi-billion-dollar company, officially announced that this would be a real fight at the Sphere.
Max Kellerman has proposed that Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s decision to frame his return fight as an exhibition instead of an officially sanctioned professional contest could be a strategic effort to protect and maintain his flawless 50-0 career record.
I'll always bring this up. Bernard Hopkins, I was calling his fights on HBO. He fought Tavares Cloud, good light heavyweight, beat him easy, right? And he was like 49, and his body still looked like Hopkins. Then he came back a year or so later, and he fights Joe Smith. His body didn't look the same. Hopkins had a Spartan training regimen. He doesn't put anything in his body. He's a temple. He eats right. He trains right.
He don't drink.
He doesn't. But his body looked, by the way, I'm 52. I can tell you, it looks different after a little bit. Even when you're trying to get in shape, just the muscles look a little different. And Joe Smith knocked him out of the ring and stopped him, right? Floyd, maybe, I'm just speculating, but maybe he says this because he gets in the gym and he's like, Floyd's what, 49 and change. He's almost 50. Maybe he's right up against that thing where it's like, man, my body's not responding the same way.
Right. Max, they're grandpops.
They old.
Grandpops.
That looks like he got a little more than 10.
What I'm saying,
he's a little younger. Pacquiao's a little younger.
When you a grandpop, you think you're not the same as you.
Roy Jones Jr. has stated that Floyd Mayweather Jr. fundamentally transformed the sport by prioritizing maximum financial returns, even if it meant sacrificing long-term legacy and traditional value within boxing. He explained that Mayweather's philosophy demonstrated to other fighters that earning potential could outweigh the pursuit of greatness, championship unification, and the willingness to take risks in high-stakes matchups. According to Jones, this change in mindset has diminished boxing's overall intensity and competitive appeal, as more fighters now choose to protect their undefeated records and pursue lucrative exhibition events instead of stepping into career-defining fights that would enhance the sport's global reputation.
Everybody now wants the Mayweather concept because Mayweather made so much money, staying undefeated, waiting to the right time to fight Pacquiao, fighting the right people at the right time. He monopolized the business. But the problem was, it only made him money and the people he was fighting. It didn't make money for the whole sport. So what he did himself a great job, but it hurt the sport because not everybody wants to fight, stay undefeated. You understand me? Me, it's like when two guys get here, they gotta meet. No, wait. They was here 5 years ago. they should have met. You understand me? Because now we probably could have got 3 good fights out of it.
Robert Garcia responded to the announced return of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and the expected rematch with Manny Pacquiao by emphasizing that both fighters should be properly and fairly compensated. He expressed that beyond the massive global attention and excitement the bout is generating, the earnings must genuinely match their legendary status, long-standing legacy, and the scale of the event itself. Garcia pointed out that whenever 2 iconic figures in boxing step back into the ring, the fight becomes more than just competition. It turns into a major cultural and commercial milestone in the sport's history. He added that while audiences focus heavily on the drama, promotion, and competitive angle, equal importance should be placed on ensuring financial fairness for both athletes. In his perspective, appropriate payment is a key part of honoring their contributions to boxing, reinforcing that respect and fairness should remain at the core of any high-profile event featuring fighters of this level.
This will do more than the Tyson-Jake Paul fight. This will do like 150, 200 million. No, it's not pay-per-view.
Netflix, would do good.
200 million people, 150?
Sure, good thing Netflix is getting involved, man. You're freeing up a lot of money for the guys.
Yeah.
And Mayweather Pacquiao, they're gonna make a couple $100 million each.
I think so.
Good for them.
As they should.
Good for them.
But you told me today, even without knowing, you knew it was coming.
Both having an exhibition, that's the way it looked like. So that was done? September 19th?
September 19th?
September, the Mexican Independence Day weekend?
Yeah, in the Sphere, nonetheless. That's that round thing.
But isn't Canelo fighting on that day?
No, he's fighting in Saudi on the 12th.
Yeah, but Mexico versus, that's right.
So this is a week after.
You mean the Sphere?
Yeah.
That's big time.
Yeah, it's very few seats in there.
Yeah, that's big time.
The gate will break records. I'm sure it's going to be major.
Yeah, because I heard that's just special, only special events and special concerts and shit like that.
Analysts and boxing commentators are suggesting that Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s return to the sport may reflect deeper financial issues that have reportedly been developing over recent years. References to unpaid tax obligations, ongoing legal battles, and various lawsuits have led to speculation that, despite earning more than $1 billion throughout his career, Mayweather's financial stability after retirement may not be as secure as previously believed. Because of these continuing concerns, some observers argue that his decision to step back into boxing, and potentially put his perfect record at risk, is driven less by legacy or entertainment and more by financial necessity. They further suggest that a fighter with nothing left to prove would normally avoid jeopardizing an undefeated record unless the underlying circumstances were significant.
Again, is he got more money than me? Yeah, but he also spends a lot more money than me, which is why I thought him coming back to fight Manny Pacquiao, it made dollars, so sure, it makes sense. But for him to put his pro record on the line means this is really bad for Floyd. Well, turns out it could be as bad as we thought or potentially worse, because Floyd Mayweather came out, 5 days ago now. I'm a little bit late to this story, but I wanted to make sure I had all the information. He came out 5 days ago and said that this fight isn't a pro fight. Even though it's announced that way, Netflix, the whole thing, all the promotion being pro-fight, it has not apparently been that to Floyd Mayweather, and this is what he had to say about it.
The Sphere is one of the places that they talked about, so we don't know if it's 100% going to be there, and this is not actually a fight, it's an exhibition.
Okay.
Ooh.
So we're going to do it again, and hopefully we're going to end.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. has faced renewed attention after reports emerged about his ongoing $340 million legal case against Showtime Networks and several former executives, in which he alleges improper handling of his fight earnings. In the filing, Mayweather claims that a substantial portion of his career revenue was misdirected through financial systems overseen by past advisors and connected individuals, resulting in hundreds of millions he believes were never properly paid to him. The complaint further states that proceeds from some of his biggest pay-per-view events, including major fights against Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor, were allegedly funneled into intermediary-controlled accounts instead of being fully delivered, leading to accusations of breach of fiduciary responsibility and financial misconduct.
Is suing Showtime and Steven Espinoza, the former head of Showtime Sports, for hundreds of millions of dollars that he claims are unaccounted for. Let's go ahead and break it down and give you all the details about what's going on. What's up, everybody? Marcos Villegas here for Fight Up TV. And you know Floyd Mayweather as probably the richest and one of the most dominant boxers in the history of the sport. But now, Floyd is stepping into the courtroom to fight for money he claims that he was never paid, and he wants justice on his terms. So let's talk details. Let me tell you about the lawsuits. On February 3rd, 2026, Floyd Mayweather filed a lawsuit in California against Showtime Networks and Steven Espinoza, claiming they helped his former advisor, Al Heyman, misappropriate a huge chunk of his fight earnings to the tune of $340 million. Mayweather says the money is still missing and unaccounted for, and he's now suing Showtime and Espinoza for aiding and abetting breach of fiduciary duty, civil conspiracy to commit fraud. Ooh, that's a serious accusation there. Conversion, unjust enrichment, and he's seeking punitive damage on top of the missing $340 million.
Meanwhile, Logan Paul has intensified the controversy with new claims that are adding further tension to an already heated situation. The widely discussed 2021 exhibition between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Logan Paul, one of boxing's biggest crossover spectacles, continues to draw attention even years later. Although the event reportedly surpassed 1 million pay-per-view sales and attracted global interest, it ultimately ended without an official result or competitive stakes, despite being a major commercial success. However, Paul has now alleged that he is still missing $1.5 million from the event, stating that the promotion allegedly included a pre-sale arrangement with an overseas company that was not fully reflected in his final payout. He further claims that his contract guaranteed him a share of that deal, but insists that the full amount was never properly paid out.
Cut to you on this day.
I mean, Floyd Mayweather?
No, I didn't make as much money as you'd think fighting Floyd.
Did you get paid from that?
He still owes me $1.5 million, maybe more.
How does he owe you the money? Why don't you just like...
Here's what happened. He pre-sold the fight using my likeness to some company in, I think, Dubai or like the Middle East. This is my understanding of it, for $10 million cash. We ended up doing the fight in the States with a different company. That is the company that put on the fight. That is the company that paid me. But he sold our fight with my name and likeness to someone else in Dubai for $10 million cash. It's our fight.
Floyd out here scamming Dubai royalty is crazy. This is a story I also heard from Gervonta Davis when he said that Floyd owed them people in Dubai money. He scammed some person, some business person, some royalty in Dubai out of $10 million.
Teddy Atlas has voiced concern over what he believes are worrying indicators surrounding the current circumstances of Floyd Mayweather Jr., suggesting that the legendary fighter may be dealing with underlying personal and financial struggles. Atlas implied that Mayweather's repeated participation in exhibition-style events could be connected to issues such as heavy gambling and unwise financial choices made outside the ring. He described it as disappointing to potentially see an icon of Mayweather's caliber facing such difficulties, particularly considering the enormous success and wealth he accumulated during his professional boxing career. In Atlas's view, this transition from elite-level competition to money-focused exhibition appearances highlights how even the most accomplished athletes can encounter serious challenges when managing their finances and adjusting to life after their peak competitive years.
So I don't like that, but I understand the world out there, and I understand putting yourself in that position. If he put himself in that position, some people will say, he's suing now because of his gambling habits, which was not hidden. It was not a secret. He would post, not Teddy Atlas talking about anything that wasn't out there. He would post some of his tickets, his betting tickets that he bet, and they were large bets. And so some people say, oh yeah, like you said, he was Mayweather, Money Mayweather, and now he's suing because he went through his money, he blew his money, whatever. Look, I don't know what the truth is fully in there. I know Steven Espinoza was named. He ran Showtime at the time.
In response to increasing criticism, Floyd Mayweather Jr. offered insight into how he views wealth, explaining that his constant focus on money should not be interpreted in a negative way. He emphasized that, for him, money functions as a practical instrument that supports a comfortable lifestyle and gives him the freedom to experience a wide variety of opportunities. Mayweather stated that financial independence is what allows him to control his own path and pursue chances that are not typically available to most people, which he believes shapes his personal happiness and long-term vision. He added that this mindset influences his unconventional business and investment choices, often involving high levels of risk. According to Mayweather, he regularly invests his earnings into ventures that others may not immediately understand, accepting that while this strategy can lead to innovation, it also results in frequent setbacks. He even noted that around 90% of his investments do not succeed, yet he continues to take bold financial risks in pursuit of the rare but significant rewards that occasionally come from
them. It really fascinated me, and it gave me an insight that you really learned about money. Is you said in real estate, you got to know what to do on a small scale first.
Yes.
And then you went big. And is that because you don't want to take massive risk because you want to be smart with your money?
Well, like you don't go out there and work extremely hard for so many years and then take every dime you got and just put it into something that you don't know about.
Well, a lot of people do, don't they? I mean,
and a majority of the time you get bad results. 90% of the time you get bad results. Just like boxing. You know, I've gotten great results because I took my time. So even like my investments, take my time, gradually move slow, and see how things are going. If things are going great, then we'll give a little bit more.
What's your opinion? Will Floyd step up and compete in a real bout or retreat again this time?